Okay, in this video we're going to talk about decentralized exchanges, which are token exchanges implemented as Ethereum smart contracts. So in the last video we talked all about tradable tokens on Ethereum implemented as smart contracts using the ERC20 standard. So that's smart contracts that define these functions that basically keep track of an account balance of an additional made-up currency called a token and allow you to transfer them from one address to another. And we also looked at how sites like Etherscan keep a list of all of the tokens that are known in the Ethereum community and are available to be traded on various different exchanges. And so the goal of this video is going to be to talk about how a specific kind of exchange works, a decentralized exchange, which is an exchange actually implemented itself as an Ethereum smart contract. We are going to try to trade the basic attention token, or BAT. If you look at the chart of all of these, it's currently, right now, like the number 6 ranked ERC20 token by market cap. Now, if you look at our MetaMask balance, we can turn on MetaMask to keep track of this token. So you'll see we've got some Ether here, but we don't have any of the basic attention token. And because the basic attention token is an ERC20 token, that means that it corresponds to a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain. So you can see this is its address in Etherscan. It actually is a contract. It has some code available. If we go and look at the code, we'll see that it looks like an ordinary ERC20 token. It defines the ERC20 token standard and has the implementation of it. So in this scenario, we start out with me having one Ethereum, but no basic attention token. What that means is that if we look at the basic attention token smart contract, the ERC20 contract, we'll see that it contains a record for my address, or really no record at all, but in any case, my current balance of basic attention token is 0, as recorded by the basic attention token ERC20 smart contract. Now, the goal in principle is going to be to use a decentralized exchange, or DEX, which itself is implemented as a smart contract. The idea is that this smart contract itself, this DEX, is also going to have a balance of basic attention token. So if I look at DEX, this is also going to have some non-zero, let's say it has 1 unit of basic attention token. So the goal that I want to achieve is roughly that I send my Ethereum, I use this to swap 1 Ethereum for 1 basic attention token. But we're going to go look at a particular example of how this is implemented, which is the IDEX decentralized exchange. Now the way this works is that the IDEX smart contract is going to keep track of account balances of both tokens and Ether for all of its users. So in my case, I start out with no Ether, no basic attention token either. Now, because this IDEX smart contract is itself a smart contract, the way that I'm able to make, the first thing that I have to do is to make a deposit of my Ether to increase this balance. And so I would invoke this simply by calling a deposit method. All right, and when I make a transaction that includes a call to the deposit method, it's going to have the effect of modifying account. Like I'll send my 1 Ether to it. After that transaction is confirmed, I'll show up as having a 1 Ether added to my balance on the IDEX smart contract. And if I actually load up what is the IDEX smart contract, Etherscan calls it IDEX1. Sure enough, the code for all of this is available. If I scroll down and look, I can see what's the deposit method and how it credits my account when I send it, when I send some Ether to this method. The way that IDEX determines a price for how much basic attention token to give me is that it keeps track of an order book. Now, the first thing that to understand with the order book is that the order book is keeping track of offers made by different parties who are users of the IDEX smart contract. So I'll illustrate a user Bob here. And for him to be able to trade with me, IDEX smart contract would also keep track of Bob's account balances. So let's say that it thinks that he has, say, 0 Ether, but 1 basic attention token. Let me draw that. Right, and so clearly the goal is that I'm going to want to be able to trade my 1 Ether for Bob's basic attention token. Now what happens is that IDEX keeps track of an order book. And the order book contains, this is actually kept separately. The order book itself is not actually on the ERC20 smart contract. It's maintained separately by the IDEX website. And what this order book consists of is a bunch of records that are offers made by the different users. So for example, this would say Bob offers 1 basic attention token for 1 Ether. That's what I would like. And this record that's stored in the order book also comes with a digital signature. That's what's going to prevent me from just taking Bob's money without his permission. Excuse me. So this is going to say, right, signed by Bob, and it's actually going to come along with a digital signature from Bob. So I'll write that as Sigma Bob. And the IDEX website is storing a whole bunch of these. Okay, so when I look at the IDEX order book on the IDEX market website, what I'm actually seeing in this list of asks and bids is actually all of those offers. So this is the list of all of the people like Bob who are willing to sell a basic attention token for some amount of Ether. Here you can see the lowest asking price is at 1 basic attention token for 1,000th of an Ether. Right, so my example's off a little bit, but that's the idea. Now this is just showing you the numbers, but the idea is that each one of these comes along with the signature as well. Okay, so what happens is that when I look at that list, what I'm actually doing is, right, getting the order book, I'm seeing the list of all of the offers that come along with some signed message from another party who has a standing order available. So what I can do, if I want to take up Bob on his offer, maybe I would pick the one with just the lowest price right now, is I would actually add my own signature, put this as accept offer, right? And this is going to come with my signature. I'll put Sigma me for my signature there. All right, and what I'm actually going to do is send this signature to the order book website. All right, and now what's going to happen is that because this order book website now has the signature from me and the signature from Bob, and both of these are on messages that basically indicate what the offer is that we're going to take, they're going to take both of those signatures and they're going to invoke a trade method on the IDEX smart contract. And so in the call to this trade method is going to be both the signature from me and the signature from Bob. And the rules of the smart contract that's implemented in the IDEX smart contract are going to be to check that the two peoples whose accounts are going to be affected by this trade have signatures from the appropriate parties, all of the amounts check out, and the balances are all consistent. And clearly the effect that this is going to have is that it's going to set my account balance to 0 of Ether, increment Bob's account balance by 1 Ether, but it'll also at the same time set his basic attention token to 0 and my basic attention token to 1. Now, I still, at this point, haven't made any transaction in the ERC20 token itself for basic attention token. All I've done is make this transaction that changes the balance on the IDEX, the Decentralized Exchanges balance. And so if I actually want to go and withdraw my basic attention token, then what I would have to do is actually send a withdrawal method. All right, and this withdrawal method will have the effect of causing the decentralized exchange to go and actually request it to transfer whatever amount I withdraw. Now this transfer method would have the effect, right, triggered by a withdrawal, would have the effect of actually taking some of the account balance of the decentralized exchange itself and then incrementing it to my account, which would finally show the increased token balance.